to be honest, and this typically happens in poor communities. This guy gets very big push in poor communities. Sometimes the Kayleys can get caught up with this guy too, but that's only if she's from Florida. Okay? The Pookie, the scammer, and the thug. Alright? The Pookie, scammer, and the thug. Now, let's just be honest. This man can come up at any point of the formula here. So this guy can come up when she's young. This guy can come up when she gets to mid-20s. Even some women, 30s and 40s, can still be hooked on the Pookie and the Ray Ray and the scammer and the thug. All right, this is the Tupac with a degree. So eventually, as she advances in her education,
I graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology.
All right, as she advances into her maturity and her degree and her education, she's still attracted to Pookies. And so what she will do is say, I want a Pookie with a degree. I want a good guy. I want a soldier, but he's going to be only a soldier for me. So this is an immature woman all the way through, and she will still be hooked on Pookies. Now, the reason why I have these particular gentlemen up is because they're all not necessarily each one as an individual Pookie, but they're doing Pookie.
Speak to women with this much respect, and I deplore that. My mother just told, I grew up, my mother raised me, so I have this much respect for women, and I fight often because of that, and it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends, but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like I was liking this girl in Tam, and I'm extra nice, extra gentleman. I'm extra just like, oh, you're beautiful and you deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it. It wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate stab in the back. So I went through a week of just going, forget it, I'm just gonna be like them. Because they seem to get the girls, and they call girls the B word.
Eventually.
Bitches ain't shit. We don't love them hoes, and it's like that. I feel as though it really ain't as big as everybody make it, Even the females know it's bitches. Females don't even hang with females, you know what I'm saying? So why would they expect a nigga to understand something they don't understand? You know what I'm saying? That's one. Two is that these bitches is like, bro, she out there handling her business. She ain't saying, why you call me bitch? She clowning, and that's what you do. That's how you show and prove. But no nigga gonna fuck with her. If you call yourself a bitch, who can call you a bitch? Niggas need to stop giving these bitches all the attention. That's why niggas is dying now. When these hoes get horny, niggas die. Hoes get horny, niggas die. Watch, every time. Every funeral you go to, it's a bitch that was horny the night before. So you need to start checking these bitches, keep your dick in. Niggas need to go back to the OG penitentiary days and start jacking off. Because if you don't, you're going to end up killing each other. We're going to all die. We got to start saying, fuck these bitches, man. If you're fucking with a cool female, that's all good. But if you're fucking with a bitch, you need to break her ass and shake her.
Hey guys, welcome to the RP experience. And let me see. Oh yeah, actually I'm gonna put this on. I put on the hood for this one. Hit the like button and subscribe. Give you a second to do that. And share. Okay, thank you very much. Now, today's video is going to be about Pookie and Ray Ray, the thugs. Okay, and this originated more within the poorer communities and stuff like that, but it's definitely in the culture of hip hop. And since a lot of cultures do emulate hip hop, from the white people to Hispanic people, stuff like that, this pretty much touches a lot of different areas. But anyway, these guys right here is the guys when I was growing up that I saw a lot of the women, females, the girls choosing, you know, and you know, I get it in a way. You know, they are like macho and tough, rough, and stuff like that. You know, I guess exciting to be around. Is that danger rush? I guess. So, so yeah. But anyway, once again, tag team with Coach Greg Adams. He's gonna go through what the Pookie and Ray Ray is, because this one is like I know what they are, but it's a little bit harder for me to explain. So I'm gonna play off of him, and when he says certain keywords that trigger certain memories and stuff like that, then I will add. Okay.
To be honest, and this typically happens in poor communities. This guy gets very big push in poor communities. Sometimes the Kayleys can get caught up with this guy too, but that's only if she's from Florida. Okay? The Pookie, the scammer, and the thug. Alright? The Pookie, scammer, and the thug. Now, let's just be honest. This man can come up at any point of the formula here. So this guy can come up when she's young. This guy can come up when she gets to mid-20s. Even some women, 30s and 40s, can still be hooked on the Pookie and the Ray Ray and the scammer and the thug. All right, this is the Tupac with a degree. So eventually, as she advances in her education,
and graduated from college with my bachelor's at 20 with a degree in communication sciences with an emphasis in speech and language pathology.
All right, as she advances into her maturity and her degree and her education, she's still attracted to Pookies. And so what she will do is say, I want a Pookie with a degree. I want a good guy. I want a soldier, but he's going to be only a soldier for me. So this is an immature woman all the way through, and she will still be hooked on Pookies. Now, the reason why I have these particular gentlemen up is because they're all not necessarily each one as an individual Pookie, but they're doing Pookie behavior, all right? They're doing Pookie behavior, holding money to their ear like a cell phone, a brick cell phone, a big old chain. You know what I mean? You know Pookie, he definitely doesn't have any discretionary when it comes to women. He takes all comers. So the Pookie, the characteristic of a Pookie is he's a hustler. He will always talk about, oh, I'm a hustler. But you will never know what he hustles. Right? You'll be like, well, what do you hustle? Do you hustle to get to work on time? Nope. Do you hustle your business, like the legitimate business? Nope. What are you hustling? You could be hustling women. You could be hustling drugs. You could be hustling OnlyFans accounts. You could be you're hustling something that is not considered legitimate many times, right? Every day I'm hustling, right? So a Pookie characteristics, he's a hustler, but you don't know what he's hustling, or you act like you don't want to know, and that type of thing. Feminine energy comes from the Pookie. Many times the characteristics that they will.
Hey, one thing I want to add about the Pookie and the Ray Ray, the thugs, the scammers, drug dealers, those are men that have no problem hitting a woman back, you know, and they will hit them like a dude. And if a guy interferes, they will just shoot that guy. You know, that's how Pookie and Ray Rays usually roll. There might be a couple of them that's like honorable, but they pretty much treat most of the females like pimps to a certain degree, and they can be very disrespectful. But then again, most of the females that they are dealing with are like along their strain, their same energy. Like they also like abusive and violent like that. A good example of that is the baby and what's her name? Danny Ray. Anyway, that chick that he had his last baby with that video went viral. So anyway, I just want to add,
comes from the Pookie. Many times the characteristics that they will emulate are actually feminine characteristics, namely hair. Right? The Pookie will be overly obsessed with his hair more than any one of these people. All right, overly obsessed. All right, the Pookie might put a perm in his hair. The Pookie might put a jerry curl in his hair. The Pookie might put some sort of feminine, whatever in his hair, locks, dreadlock. It will look very feminine. It will be as close to a feminine look than it would be so-called masculine look. The Pookie is overly worried about his dress. You know what I mean? He's taking a toothbrush to his Jordans. You know what I mean? Like, that's type of, it's kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Let's get a little down and dirty. But you don't have to. That doesn't mean you're not the final form. But, he'll be fresh to death. The Pookie will be fresh to death. He'll have his Coogee sweater. He'll act cultured. He'll go to Art Basel in Miami, act like he's cultured. I'm taking shots at people. Taking shots. You know what I mean? He'll do stuff like that. You know what I mean? He'll act culture, but he'll go there dressed Pookie-ish. You know what it's like? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to dress in Timberland boots and the Coogee sweater and the gold chain and be at the art museum. You know what I mean? You can literally be like, you don't have to be, you know what I mean? Like, people can, let me see here. You can dress for the occasion. You know what I mean? You can dress for the occasion. So anyway, the Pookie also is lost. He tends to be lost. He's trying to find himself, and he's trying to figure out. He'll say, it's kind of like where he is a transition to either gentleman. He's trying to want to transition into it, but he don't want to give up his hood homies. All right, he's an actor. The Pookie is always acting. You know what I mean? He's acting the part. He's acting the Chad. He's acting the player. But he's kind of stuck because his culture. He's not cultured. He's not refined. But he could be refined. It could take, the Pookie can leap from Pookie to refined if he wanted to, but he would have to lose some things in order to do it. Somebody says Drake is the Chad. Don't look at the people in the picture. Look at the behavior. Because I'm not saying these people are Pookies. What I'm looking at is the behavior. And Drake is not a Chad. All right, Drake is not a Chad. All right, so if you look at Drake in his younger years, he was not a Chad. All right, Drake developed into that, and he's more of he's probably most closer to Pookie or pickup artist player. All right, let's see here. The Pookie is desperate. The Pookie is desperate. The Pookie has a one-track mind. Everything comes back to peace leave. All right, everything with the Pookie comes back to peace leave. All right, everything comes back to peace leave. Where the hoes at? All right, how many hoes I got? I always got to be around hoes. All right, the final result of everything that they accomplish in life comes back to hoes. He goes back to hoes. So what happens is they're making money, but eventually it goes back to the hoes. Right, that's what's going to happen with the Pookie. So he has a one-track mind. He'll give up his hustle for hoes. All right, and so this is what happens with the Pookie. He stands out. The Pookie will typically do things to stand out. He'll wear a big hat, a big leather Louis Vuitton labeled monogrammed hat, which nobody else is going to wear that hat, but he'll wear the big monogram Louis Vuitton hat. You know what I mean? Like, who wears that hat? The Pookie wears that. The Pookie is insecure. The Pookie is a follower. The Pookie is a follower. So one of the reasons why dudes are out here getting killed in the street is because they're out here trying to get women and or money. So the woman creates the Pookie is because the best draggle daggles are often associated with the Pookie. The best draggle daggles in your community often get with the Pookies. The drug dealer, the hustler, the scammer, the thug, the fake. So you see the girl with the biggest titties and the biggest ass and the tiniest waist with the Pookie.
That's true too. That's true. The most attractive ones. Now, of course, though, those are not always the best women, but I even seen some of the good girls get with, like, Pookies and Ray Rays when I was younger. You know, as I said in one video, like, I struggled mightily with getting girls when I was like mid school, teenager, and stuff like that. So I never had a high school sweetheart. And of course I had that one girl I chased in high school that was an honor roll student, but it just was rough. I would not want to go back to that time right there. And I did have some friends that was Pookies and Ray Rays. The thing is, though, when I hung with them, normally it was just me and them, and we was playing like video games and stuff like that. I never hung with a pack of them, so any influence that was on me was like minimal and stuff like that. That's why I believe definitely, like, birds of a feather flock together. But you might be able to somewhat not get as influenced if you just hanging out with one of them. But it depends if you are like a real follow leader or something like that. I mean, pretty much, like I say, whenever I hung out with any of those types of friends, we did what I wanted to do, which is either draw or play video. And surprisingly, they did stuff like that. So, I can't say all Pookies and Ray Rays are like bad dudes. The ones in and out of jail, yeah, sometimes they have to learn like lessons and stuff like that. But is some of them, I think, that's trying to be that, because I guess that's more comfortable for them. But however, though, they still have like a good heart or something like that. So I don't blame all the girls that went with some of them, because some of them was actually okay dudes. So anyway, let me continue.
Fake. So you see the girl with the biggest titties and the biggest ass and the tiniest waist with the Pookie. You don't see her with the Chad. The Chad will not be caught with her ass. Now the Chad and Tyrone will smash this woman, but you'll rarely ever see Chad with her. He don't have to go out with her. The Pookie does have to go out with her, because the Pookie is validation by being seen with her. The Chad doesn't get validation by being seen with her. The Pookie does. The player, he might be with her, but he's just in a rotation. And the player ain't trying to go be seen with a bunch of women. He don't want to be caught out like that. But the Pookie scammer thug, he will be seen out with Cardi B. Most men will not be caught dead seen in broad daylight with Cardi B. As an example, allegedly. Maybe Cardi B was not the person I wanted to use there, because I did not want to be in court with Cardi B. But what I'm saying is that type of personality. The Pookie needs the validation of the straggle. The straggle daggle needs the Pookie, because that's who she's not going to get with the gentleman. She's never going to be there. So the women creates the Pookie mindset is because the guys who aren't Chad Tyrone, who aren't really a player or a pimp or a gentleman, his only source of peace league will come from the straggle, and that's what he wants. So he'll become a gangbanger. He'll put the Louis Vuitton monogram hat on. He'll put the gold chain on. He'll put the gold grill in his teeth. He'll get the Cartier sunglasses, but he lives in a one-bedroom apartment. He lives with his mama. He'll get his watch all iced out and gleamed out. He'll always be seen with women. So he'll put his life on the line for the validation of the straggle daggle. And this is why this man is created, because the straggles choose him. They choose him. And so what ends up happening is, over time, the woman will hate the Pookie, because the Pookie ends up not being responsible for his stuff, right? The Pookie will, have everything but nothing at the same time. All right, he'll be late on his child support. He'll impregnate 4 women by the age of 25. He'll be inconsistent in his effort. He'll be sloppy. He'll be sloppy with how he deals with women. All right, women immediately will find out he's trying to be a player and a pimp, and they'll try to fight it right away. They'll be like, "You're messing up," right? And so he'll be sloppy and arrogant, and then he'll cast these women out to the side. "Oh, you just a piece of ass," right? The gentleman doesn't dismiss her off like that. The gentleman's like, he lets her down lightly. "I know, baby, but, I just don't have time." The Pookie will just put her out there, put her business out there, be arguing in the street with her. They'll go to nice restaurants and be loud and obnoxious. She'll start ordering filet mignon. She'll start ordering the salmon. She'll start ordering the Cabernet Sauvignon. All right. She can't pronounce anything on the wine menu. Neither can he. All right, they just start ordering bottles of this. Pop bottles anywhere. Pop bottles. Give me the Cavassier. Give me all of this stuff. Y'all got the Henny in here. Y'all got Henny? No Henny? All right, what else y'all got in here? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, that's the Pookie and the scammer and the thug. And I'm going to show you this video right here. This is the video here that kind of talks about it. Hey, we'll go through this video. Let's see here. Remember, we're talking about Brifos law. Let's talk about this. We'll kind of go through this. This is fair use. I'll invoke my fair use privileges here, where I have to show you here. I know you might come back here, whoever's the creator of this content. Thanks you for letting me use this under the fair use guidelines here on YouTube, the federal guidelines that allows us right here to use excerpts of copyrighted material under certain circumstances to be quoted verbatim for the purposes such as criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research, without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder. Yes, indeed. So we'll examine a couple of groups of women that talk about, what they desire in a man. And many times immaturity goes with the Pookie or the Ray Ray. So let's look at it. We'll have Bariquas in here. We'll have Kaylee's, and we'll have Tanishas and Tata and Alicia's in here.
Hey, Bing Bong!
Okay, so you see, there's not a woman in here, a lady of class in this particular group. All right, she wouldn't be caught dead with this group. There might be one possible, but she'll kind of dismiss herself from this group. But these women at some point will want a gentleman, but they'll never qualify for a gentleman. They're out of the running already. They've been ran through in certain mindsets, and the way they're displaying themselves tells us this.
All right, so in what order would you prefer dating someone, like a scammer, a drug dealer, or a regular 9-to-5 guy?
I think we all have the same answer. And we like a 9-to-5 with a little bit of scammer on the side.
So this lady right here, this might be, if she would get her body in order, she's dismissing herself from this conversation. All right, because she's like, no, this is just too much. These girls are too wild. They're on a girls trip. Some of these girls gonna be ran through. I'm out of this equation. She's like, I'm out of here. She got out of here. Now Pookie has no problem with these women. Tyrone will run through these women too. The player will have these women, but never be caught dead with them in broad daylight. But they're smashable, but they ain't nowhere near reporting back to you. Gentlemen will not touch these women.
He be multitasking. So, hey, so why do y'all leave the drug dealer out? Why is the drug dealer in last place?
Oh, no, we don't want to go to jail or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they be hiding the crack in their titty and all that stuff. They'll do it.
That's right. I'm a no, you know.
Respect.
What goes wrong?
So shout out to the Morenas right there. And this dude, why are you flashing?
I'm looking on him. Hey. Nah, I'm not gonna put my shit out there. Thank me first.
All right, so these two represent. This dude right here represents the player in the. He represents the player in the fake PUA. All right, because he's around all these women and he believes these women are going to validate him. He's somewhere near Pookie and player, fake PUA. And so he needs all these women around him, and then he needs to floss his firearm. Okay?
All right, y'all easy. New York in the building, man.
See, he's with all of these women, so he's feeling good about himself that he has a lot of women around, and he probably has the ugliest woman in the group. All right, so let's go ahead and continue moving forward here. Let's see here. Going ahead.
A scammer, A drug dealer.
All right, so now we have, instead of the Buikers and the Buenas, we have all of the yeah, that was feminine energy for him to flash that, right? So that told you right there. And he had them tight ass pants on. No disrespect. Right here now we have the very foldable Tata Alicia's. I will say this: you don't see them very foldable like this, so I will give them that. I'm not into the weave that much, but and listen, they're, gosh man, they could be cleaned up pretty good here if they wanted to, but the reason that they won't is they don't want to. So let's continue.
Dealer or a guy that works a 9 to 5.
I want a 9 to 5 because
Hold on, 9 to 5 first. 1 second.
1 second.
A scammer or the drug dealer?
Drug dealer.
Okay.
And then a scammer.
Why is the scammer last?
Wow. Now, I had to cut this one short because he does interview some girls in there and stuff like that. But anyway, I didn't want this video to get too long. Anyway, yeah, those girls right there is the perfect match for like the Pookie, and that's the thing. The Pookie and that girl right there, Coach Greg Adams called them the Scraggle Daggles. They will want the better versions of men and women. Like, those girls will want a gentleman eventually, and the Pookies will want a lady or a woman at some point. You know, he'll get tired of dealing with those types of girls. You know, now for some reason though, the Pookies and Ray Rays have a better shot at getting better qualities of women eventually, but it usually will end bad because someone will end up, you know, I'm trying to think what word could I use, will end up going missing, I'll just say. So that's the thing with that. And I didn't have too much more to add because I know a bit about the Pookies and Ray Rays, but I never knew the reason why the females was choosing them. But this makes a little bit more sense to me because those types of girls would not be the type of girls that I would go with. Like, maybe if I could section her, one of them off from the posse or something like that, and she comes down off of that a bit, then probably that could work. But however though, you see how they are when they are like in groups, was the Spanish ones, and I seen white ones like that too. It's like loud, robustous, I mispronounced the word, but it's just like too much. And when sometimes women say, what does that mean, too much? Too much, like the guy is being nice, not saying too much of what, but usually it's being like too loud, too vulgar, like every word that you say is like a curse word. Not that, you know, we all in choir school and can't curse and stuff like that, but you know, I wouldn't want to be dating Samuel Jackson and stuff like that. But you know, in women's case, they might like that, you know, and I've seen better qualities of women with the Pookie and Ray Ray, you know, especially growing up in my community. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Didn't have too much to add to this one because I'm not really in that life. I know people that's kind of in that, but you know, I never really got involved in that. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button going out if you didn't do it, and share, subscribe. Thanks.
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too? Pando made it.